Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Into the Breach. Let's go set an entire museum on fire. An island-sized museum, just all of it, burned to the ground. This guy would not be giving us such a warm welcome if he had any idea what I was about to do. So obviously we're going for our reactor core here. We still have to end a battle with 12 tiles on fire. We still have to have 5 enemies simultaneously on fire. There are going to be situations now, I think, where we can set 3 enemies on fire in a single action with the flamethrower, so this is starting to look pretty possible. We don't have a lot of time left to get it done, so it better get possible pretty quickly. Okay, this guy. We have developed some propensity for messing with his AI. If I do this, I think the odds are he's going to move to... He cannot move to here, in fact. So, actually, with him having 3 movement, he's got 4 health. So we could almost certainly bait him into moving here by placing there and there. But I don't think I actually want to do that. No. I think we just do it like we're doing it. I suppose if I put everybody on this line, there's some chance he ends up here, which would probably cause him to set that tile on fire. Now we'll see. If I put the artillery guy back here, yeah, I was gonna say that makes it so there's only like a 1 in 2 chance of this guy not attacking the coal plant. Doing it the way we did it makes it so there's a 1 in 3 chance of him attacking the coal plant. Unfortunately, we hit the 1 in 3. The good news is we can just teleport him out of his rocks, so that's cool. The bad news is that doesn't really solve our problems. Well, this is annoying. This is a bad place for this to be. So, if I go somewhere, throw the acid tank, use the acid tank's push to disengage this thing. Then the meteor mech moves over, I don't know, somewhere. Drops fire onto this guy. That pushes the alpha spider into the water. Doesn't actually help us. This is really bad. This alpha scarab's going to be hard to stop. So we have to use the teleporter on him, probably. And then we... what? How do we get this guy out of here? We could use the flame mech. This is actually a real problem. So we can move the flame mech somewhere, deploy the acid tank, have the acid tank shoot this down into here to break it. Then, nope. So the spiderling egg on the flame mech would have had basically no effect. On the meteor mech, it's like devastating. This is a really bad time for this guy not to be able to move, and unfortunately, I don't think we have the actions necessary to rescue him without losing control of the situation. This really tight grouping of enemies is a problem for us. Okay. So we can shoot this space to break that guy, smash this guy into this rock. But this rock being gone doesn't actually help us. There's a lot of places where we can pull the swap mech to, or we can pull the alpha digger to with the swap mech, but none of them help us deal with this situation. I think what I really want to do is swap him to here, right? So that he kills the blast scion, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. And then there's a lot of versions of this where we just like do a couple damage to him and call it a day. Let's see, so I can't Yeah, I really don't see a way. So if we use the acid mech to free you, there's no space that you can fire into that will fix either of these problems. Once we've teleported one of them away, does that change? Like if we use the teleporter to get rid of this guy. Well, what I could do instead is use the frost thing to just freeze one of the buildings. That's an option. Except it's really not, because Lily's the only one who can deal with this guy. Maybe I... Nope, I don't have anything. That wasn't going anywhere. This is tough. So if we swap this guy out to here, we get to kill the Blast Scion. Then we have no way of preventing this attack. I can deploy the Blast Tank to move this thing away from the meteor mech, but there's no space it can move into where it can stop him from taking the shot. However, it can drop fire directly on him and push this guy into the water. Although that does, if I do that, it saves the Blast Scion from the digger, which I do not like. I want this thing gone. So this pushes... It pushes whatever I stop on. I don't think that opening up this space back here helps us, though. And honestly, if that was all it was going to take, we could just do that with the acid tank anyway. Hopefully you can't hear the car alarm that's going off. I don't usually record in the mornings because that person's car alarm goes off for several minutes actually every morning. Like it's their car alarm, or like it's their alarm clock or something. Maybe they're sleeping in the car and they've rigged up some kind of system. It's very inconvenient, though. Yeah, so the problem is that Lily's the only one who can deal with either of these threats. And we have to save this more than we have to save that. So I think I'm just gonna deal. I'm just gonna take the 1 grid damage. Because I like getting rid of the Blast Scion a lot. We can just do this. That gets us some early damage. And then we could move our flame mech to here. Do this. Which not only has the benefit of doing all that damage, but also sets another space on fire by pushing a flaming creature into a forest. But I probably ought to deploy my tank, right? Just so that we have it out. It's better to have it out than to not. What is the attack order? Ooh. I wonder... Because we could push this guy back and he could do 2 damage here. I wonder if there's a version of this that has this guy killing that guy? Maybe. I think I'd better just deploy my tank, though. So let's move as close as we can to the spawners. I just really want to let this guy have it as much as possible. Okay, we're just gonna eat a grid damage. We'll replace it, I'm sure. It's not that big of a deal. And this is a valuable thing. Okay, that's very good. That's fine. That's excellent. That's excellent. There's a lot of good luck there. Alright, how do we want to turn all of this good luck into victory? Well, we can kill you pretty easily. Not a lot of situations where we can teleport enemies into water to drown them, unfortunately. It's something I do enjoy doing. We could... So I could splash this guy with acid. Us being bound up in the spiderling egg doesn't actually do anything to us, so I'm not too worried about that. Unfortunately, they've done a good job of stacking themselves such that I can't shoot this space with the meteor mech unless I'm standing here, which eliminates the point of shooting that space. But we might be able to fix this a little bit. So you have to get dealt with. We can deal with you by just running the flame mech down here and pushing you and setting you on fire. You take 1 damage now and then 1 damage before you can hurt anything. It would probably be a good idea to move this guy into this space if we can manage that, which we definitely can. Unfortunately, I have to set only 1 space on fire because I actually do need the push. Okay, that feels pretty good. I don't know that I have a lot of fancy tech beyond that. I think we want to swap you into here, and then we just keep our tank alive by getting that guy the acid, and then yeah, I think we're good. So this guy won't quite die, but it'll soften him up considerably. We'll get no new spawn this turn. Unfortunately, we're at only 4 spaces on fire, which means that the 12 is looking a little unlikely this time out. Excellent. Excellent. That could be a problem. So here we have an enemy coming up into a fire, which is nice. It's pretty easy for us to just push this guy upward. We can teleport this guy out of the way of the buildings, and then we're good as far as damage goes. But it would be better if we could use our teleport to put this guy onto the spawner. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's actually a thing I can do. I guess Cinnabar can just block the spawn. He doesn't really have anything else to do this turn. And, in fact, we need to do this, or even this. Yeah, I like this better. Alright, so we've got some good fire going here. You don't really get to do anything this turn. I guess that's not totally true. If we do this, you get to put acid on this guy. That could matter. So we have 7 spaces on fire right now. It's actually possible for us to make it to 12 here, I think. Right, if we cause any enemy to deal damage to a forest via teleportation, And then we do a 3-space shot with the flame mech onto 3 spaces that are not yet on fire. And we also set a new space on fire with the meteor mech. Unfortunately, I think that's maybe not really feasible. Yeah, I don't see anywhere where I can cause a fire with teleportation. I guess if I could get to here, which I can't, this would make him set that on fire, but I think we're just not getting the fire thing this turn. Or this battle. And there aren't 5 enemies, so we can't have 5 enemies simultaneously on fire, so let's just try to get as many kills as possible. Let's see. This is a kill. This should max out our last guy. And we actually only have to... Oh no, sorry. Well, it doesn't split, because you did the killing with the one... Yeah. It'd be good if I remembered how the mechanics worked. Can we get anybody else? Everybody else has a lot of health. What we could do... Maybe, like, move this guy to here... Do this swap, and then bounce him off of the meteor mech a couple times. And this actually will get us some XP. There we go, there's your level cap. And the acid tank takes one for the team yet again. I gotta say, this thing has been a real hero. The acid has been helpful, but really it's the baffling enemy targeting that has been the biggest effect. Okay, plus 2 HP. Not the best mech to have that on, but still good. That's still a good level up. Is that enough reason to swap these pilots? I think I would rather have the HP on the flame mech, right? I do like the move on the flame mech as well, though. And they each have +1 reactor, so we don't actually lose any power. The extra move on the flame mech is nice, though. I think we'll keep it this way. Alright, we don't really have a choice but to do this. Fortunately, it's the dam mission, which is always fun. Not so easy to achieve a huge amount of flame on the dam mission, unfortunately. There's, there's a lot of water involved. So if we put somebody here, this guy will run forward and do his attack here, I think. Let's have that be the person who can just fly away. But I think we probably have already provoked this guy into getting into the path of the river. And a time pod that we can actually collect. This is a good start. Okay, that's a very annoying thing to have done. How do we want to take care of this? We had to get this time pod, and then we blow the dam, right? We can't blow the dam. I can't do damage to it. It's actually a real problem. Okay, how would we get out of this? Well, we could move the meteor mech to, like, here. Fire a flame shot here. That'll do a little bit of damage slamming these guys into each other. It'll push this thing off so the swap mech can move. Then the swap mech does what? There's actually no buildings in danger anywhere. So I'm kind of cool with this happening. But the swap mech has to move this guy or else the flame mech's in trouble. Yeah, we're going to have to actually use a Vec to break this thing, I think, unfortunately. Right, I think this is right. Okay, then you just free the flame mech, probably. So we can't attack that guy. I mean, the flame mech probably needs to shoot his acid tank out anyway. We got to get that going. Yeah, let's teleport you. That's not the way I want to do that. And we can't kill that thing, so that's definitely just like off the table. So we can't swap this. We could swap the flame mech. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Everything else about the plan stays the same. But we just come down here. Nope, we can't swap the flame mech. That doesn't work. We swap. Nope. Okay. We swap. We go down here, we swap this thing. The flame mech moves. And then we deploy the acid tank and have it push the swap mech to safety. Or we just have the swap mech move to here. I didn't want to do the freeze because obviously it prevents this guy from taking damage. But now looking at this, I'm thinking that there's no way for us to not have a pilot death. Unless we do the freeze right now. It is a shame. Alright, now he gets to move to out of somewhere. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Deploy the acid tank, and we just use it to bounce these guys off of each other. Do a little damage. Yeah, breaking the dam is going to be non-trivial. Because we still don't have the meteor thing. I mean, all we need is for a Vec to attack in the right direction. Yep, I did do that, didn't I? So just looking at this, it looks to me like it's impossible to not take a considerable amount of damage here. So if we use the acid tank to kill the blast scion by bouncing it off the flame mech, then have the meteor mech fire a shot into this space. Nope, that doesn't save me. Yeah, the problem with that is that this guy is webbed from two directions, and this one kills him. There's no way to free Lily and have her still have an action left, because the enemies have been very careful to block all of our stuff in from multiple spaces in each direction. Yeah, so if we could use the acid tank to push anything into Lily, we could save her. And then she would have an action available that she could use to save somebody else. But there's too much stuff on the table. There's too many enemies in every direction. So the flame mech is dead. Well, hold on. I could push him. I could push Cinnabar. Cinnabar could make a move that would save the flame mech. But Cinnabar could shoot here, which pushes this guy off the flame mech so the flame mech doesn't die, and slams an enemy into the ice, which unlocks Lily. Then Lily, unfortunately, can only go and grab this guy, because we have to keep the defense lab alive. Lily swaps this guy to here, so he at least eats that thing. And then we can use the... Nope. What I'm thinking is that we cannot save all of our mechs and the defense lab and prevent this 4 damage from happening. Which is terrible. If this 4 damage happens, then we are extremely on the back foot. But also, I can't... Even beyond concerns about losing the pilot, I can't lose this mech at this point in this stage and expect to survive the stage. So... Hey, the not getting perfect islands for the first 3 islands thing affected our power level so much. Okay. Let's keep thinking here. Unfortunately, the acid tank really can't do very much. If we could get rid of this spider somehow during our turn, we could use the acid mech or the acid tank to at least push this guy up to here, where he would only do 2 damage instead of 4. But I don't think that's possible. I don't see any way to save our pilots other than the thing I just said, where we use this to push that guy upward. Once we have Lily free... Yeah, once we have Lily free, we have to use her to stop this from happening because we need the core. We're in a huge amount of trouble here. So, if I'm accepting that the acid tank probably won't be able to contribute very much to this turn, I think it is right for the acid tank to finish this thing off. Because otherwise we're going to have explosions, complicating matters all over the place. Alright, I'm trying to think, does it matter where I do this from? I don't think it does. I'm going to do it from back here, I think. Okay. So now there's no... There's no play that's better than just doing this swap to prevent this one damage. I think we could swap this guy out, but we lose the defense lab. I can't work these two against each other with just 1 action left. And honestly, I think the core is more important than the 4 power. That is the situation that I think we are in. The good news is, no new spawns this turn. Okay, that was lucky. I mean, we were kind of due for one, although that's not really how probability works. But like, we've seen a lot of buildings lost with this 17%. Okay, that's not a bad web. That's an annoying web. So yeah, we can't kill 7 enemies or destroy the dam, which means we again don't get a perfect island bonus, and we might not be able to beat the final fight. I think our level of toughness is a little low here. Very few enemies attack in this direction, unfortunately. Okay, we're not suffering a lot of building damage here. Let's try to figure this out. So we could teleport this guy up to here and slam him into the dam twice, which kills him and kills this spawn. Makes it a lot easier for us to dump guys in the water. But if we do that, we can't prevent this building from being hit. If we could if we get the Alpha Digger over here, like a good push and a teleport somehow, that would break the dam, but I don't think that's going to be possible. He's a little too far away, and there's a little bit too much garbage between him and the dam. So we do have to deal with this. This guy has to get pushed up to here. It has to be Lily and Nicola who deal with these two. And then once that has happened, Cinnabar is free to get some damage. So we could just do a flame mech shot to push you up, and then use the teleporter to swap you to somewhere, but like we can't do it anywhere good. And then the acid tank just kills the egg to prevent the egg from spawning into something. Yeah, unfortunately the Alpha Scorpion cannot be moved to a space where it's going to do anything of value for us. So if I moved you up into this space, and then moved Cinnabar up here and attacked you, you would take 2 damage from the flamethrower, 1 damage from the push, 1 more damage from being in the flame space. You would not die, and you would kill Cinnabar, so that's not going to work. Man, I want so badly to make this spawn not happen. I just don't think we can do it. I guess I could solve this problem by having Cinnabar shoot here instead. We don't get to do anything with the flame mech then, except press the repair button, but we block the spawn. And preventing even more enemies from spawning into this situation is probably worth doing. Yeah, alright, let's do it that way. I would rather block the spawn than get 1 fire damage onto this guy. So I could repair, or I could, like, start a bunch more fires. I'm assuming the dam is... You know, the dam is fire immune, or is smoke immune. It does not say that it is fire immune. I guess the space is probably classified as water, because note, there's no, the fire thing is all grayed out here. Yeah, probably. Okay, yeah, you unfortunately cannot be teleported into a position that will help us, but you can at least be teleported into one that doesn't hurt us. You just start a bunch more fires, that'll show them, and then we prevent the spider spawn. Yeah, rough. We do have 8 spaces on fire, which is something. Depending on how difficult these guys make it to avoid damage this turn, we might be able to get the thing. So let's see. I definitely need this to not happen. And it would be really nice if this didn't happen. So we can use the meteor mech to do a push here to break you free. Then the flame mech can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and push you out, which does not save the thing. And we have to use the in order to do that, we have to use the acid tank to push this guy to the side. So I have to push this guy. Yeah, unfortunately, once again, the acid tank is just too far out of the way to actually do anything. So yeah, unfortunately I cannot get the 12 fire spaces. So we just have to use the flame mech to push you off, and then the meteor mech, you have 2 health. Meteor mech does that. Yeah, the price of being behind the power curve due to not being able to get most of the rewards on the other islands has turned out to be very high. So we get no stars here. We do not get a perfect island. So this was effectively 4 reputation that we lost because it also cost us our perfect island. I don't think there was any situation here where we were going to be able to kill 7 enemies. We might have been able to get the dam. Okay, that's that's interesting. So we definitely have to install this this core here. Try to get toward that +2 damage. Pretty sure I don't want to use this. It's definitely an interesting item. Yeah, it's rough, man. Alright, so defend the train again. Or do not kill the volatile vac. Well, we're really good at do not kill. But also, we've had a run of success with the train. Oh. I see a thing. So check this out. Somebody, politely and very carefully, warned me to be on the lookout for these mountains that start the level cracked, that have a weird glowy thing inside of them. That's something interesting. Yeah, I have some feelings about that. We're going to have to figure out how to break that open. Again, our squad not having any damage is rough. We might not win. It's possible we won't win here. But we got a couple of annoying achievements done. Well, we will have if we get this thing figured out. So, basically what I'm saying is, I'm okay not winning this run. So, we get to... What do we do here? You're attacking that way, huh? Okay. We could swap this guy down 2 spaces, then deploy the acid tank to push him. We could also... we deploy the acid tank to bounce this thing off of the meteor mech, and then the meteor mech gets free. Nope, can't do that. Hold on. Here we go, here we go. So we deploy the... I can't deploy it this way. Shoot. Undo move. See, if we can get the meteor mech free, we can push this guy down and then swap him, which has the combined benefit of making him block a spawn and making him destroy the mountain. But... I can't do it. Alright, we can do this shot. Yeah, this will work just as well. This means that this guy takes 3 damage and goes to 1 health right away, but the thing about 1 health is that it is more than 0 health. If you learn nothing else from watching this series, I want you to learn that. So I think what we can do here is just move in to be closer to stuff, deploy the acid tank here, have the acid tank move to this spot. Okay, here we go. We're going to make some kind of progress. Real glad we didn't swap the pilots. Look at that. Something strange in the rubble. I don't know what to do from here. That was what I knew, was that there were weird mountains that had glowy stuff in them. Well. So let's see. This is a problem. If we break this egg, it might explode and kill the train. If we swap our way out of this, this guy will hit the train. So we could use the artillery mech to push him, fire here, push him back onto the spawner. Then we can swap this guy out of the way. We can have the flame mech 1, 2, 3, 4, and just push this guy down. We have to be careful not to kill anybody near the train until after the blast scion is dead, but I think that's what we can do. I can't remember if I used my reset or not, and it doesn't light up until after you actually do something. The thing is, I'm not sure that this killing this will cause an explosion, because the cocoon does not count as an enemy in most ways. Like it doesn't increment your enemies killed or anything. Let's find out. No, okay, it is not an enemy. So we can do that. The acid tank wasn't going to get to do anything this turn anyway, so we can do that and at least prevent a spider from spawning. So let's have you go here. Fire like that. Hey, we're getting a lot of fire on the ground. That's something to be pleased about. You know, I was going to come up here and push this guy down. But we could come down here and push him up instead and get a lot of fire on the ground. And then, unfortunately, there's no swapping this guy to any place that's like fun. I can't just move him over into this fire because he still hits a building. And he attacks before this thing does, so we couldn't rely on this thing killing him. So unfortunately, I think I just have to swap him to like here. Which is fine, it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't kill him, which I'm bummed out about. So we have to, touch this, I think. I guess. We haven't really been given any information. I will try touching it. Or will I? I don't actually have a lot of movement. Okay. So we don't have a lot of things that we have to do this turn, really. Like, this is a problem, obviously. Is it cool for me to just, like, run over and touch that? Let's see. We could have the meteor mech come here. Fire there to bounce this thing off of Lily. Lily can move to here and ice this dude, or swap him, or whatever. And we're good, right? So I'm going to go touch this. Device of unknown origin has activated a signal. Okay. Well, nothing has happened, so I don't know, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not bad considering we weren't really trying here. So then I swap you. It doesn't, I don't think, matter where I do it. Nobody dies, so no explosions. It's a strategy if ever I've seen one. I mean, I could push you back, but it doesn't actually... Oh yeah, it does make me survive. I was thinking this was one of those guys who hits 2 spaces. Okay, and then you get to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it made a time pod drop. In a spot that's not going to blow up. Alright, hey, look at that. Look at that, I accidentally did it. Protect the strange pod. Okay, done. It's me. I'm the hero of time. Okay, Scorched Earth. We're achieving stuff all over the place. And we've got our strange pod here. Yep, it looks like an FTL ship. And hey, look at that. It's a Mantis guy from FTL. Special 2 damage melee attack replaces repair. That's actually extremely thematically appropriate. Also bad, I think? You know what? For our squad, though, where direct damage is at a premium, that's pretty good. So we unlocked a new pilot in the hangar. We can be a Mantis man whenever we want. And would you look at that? Global's done, except for this one, which we are totally working on, although we may not see any progress toward it today. Alright, 5 enemies simultaneously on fire. We can do this. Alright, well we better do the library, because we only have 1 left anyway. Do I want to install that pilot? He's got plus move. I kinda... The thing is, all of my other pilots have plus reactor, and he doesn't. And reactors are kind of at a premium for us. So instead of that, what we're going to do is install 2 reactors here, and just get 2 damage on the meteor mech. How about that? We're certainly going to have a lot of reputation available at the end of the island. Maybe gaining plus 2 damage on that attack is not a good idea on this mission. Well, you know, we didn't want to set the volatile Vec on fire anyway. It's not like I want to shoot it with the meteor mech. We have to shoot stuff near it to push it. So this guy has 3 move and he will go here. There's no way to stop that from happening. So we want to be cautious about letting this thing entrap too many of us. If I place like this... Hold on, let's swap these 2. This is not a great position, but I think this guarantees that we won't get a spider spawn. We'll probably throw it here, which is probably fine. I just don't want any of my other mechs to get locked up by the spider spawn. Alright. Probably a lot of swap mech stuff going on here. Alright, well, this sucks. So, we can have the meteor mech drop 2 damage right here. It breaks this open. It pushes our swap mech free. And then the swap mech can, like, come down here and... No, we can't... I can't just have the swap mech freeze everything. We gotta deal with this. Although, actually, this... No, this space will not be empty. Trying to figure out how we could use the acid tank here. These incredibly tight spaces. These things are just like, well, let's make sure that there's a thing on every space in a 4x4 area. Makes it difficult for us to do stuff. If we shot right here... We would do 1 damage to the volatile Vec by bouncing the spiderling egg off of it, but that's not so bad. It frees this guy up. It frees this space up for me to throw. It breaks this thing. You know what? That's actually pretty good. Right? Like, look at all the positive effects that has. Then the swap mech can just grab this guy and move him to here, and we can use... No, the swap mech has to move this guy because we can't use the tank, the acid tank to move him anymore. He only does 1 damage, so I could just move here and swap him like this and take a hit, or I could freeze him. Actually. That's probably it, right? Yeah, actually, this is really good. Because we freeze him, and then I guess I like move to here or something. And then we deploy the acid tank, and have this thing kill the blast scion while breaking Lily out of the ice. And then we have a frozen building, a shielded building, and a frozen volatile Vec that we can maybe just keep frozen for the entire battle. That feels pretty good. So we can push you back a space, but that doesn't help that much. I fire here and just move you to there. Yeah. You... We just swap this thing onto a spawn. Like, I'll move back to here just so I have a lot of latitude for future turns. That's a kill because we covered him with acid. It's just a good thing to do. And then, like, bounce you off that. Swap you, and then move over here and set him on fire as well. 5 enemies on fire at the same time is gonna be tough. Oh, that was lucky. Okay, so you're dead. That's not a bad web at all. It's actually a great web. That's like one of the best webs possible. We get to block a ton of spawns this turn. Wait, undo move. I was going to fire right here to just do a little damage to this guy, but maybe I'd be better off just shooting him. Yeah, we don't need the egg to be over here anymore, and this guy dying would be awesome. I am already tired of him. Okay. That's pretty good. So we stop all of the remaining spawns. That guy's dead already. So we just have this guy and a spider to deal with. I had to say, we're still in like a pretty grim position. But winnable, I think. Maybe. I don't know. We're at high enough power that there's a chance we make it through the final battle. I'm a little worried about our lack of reactors. Even with an extra island, we're not going to come anywhere near catching up. So we are way behind on development compared to a normal run going into the final island. Yeah, look at that. We're going to end this with at most 7 stars because we once again did not get a perfect island. I think the odds of us winning this are sub 50%. I don't mean to doomsay. I don't think it's like hugely worse than that, but it's bad. But that's okay. If we, like I said, if we don't get a win with these guys, we actually managed to finish all of the global achievements that we, can finish. We're working on that last one as hard as we can. So you're ignorable for the turn. This sucks, though. Well, I could do a freeze. You do 2 damage on hit. We could... What's the attack order? Wrong. The attack order is wrong. So let's see. We could swap one of these 2 onto this spawner. I wanted to try to get the Alpha Scorpion to hit the Alpha Hornet, but I don't think we can do that due to the attack order. I could use the Meteor Mech to push you onto the spawn. I use the swap mech to swap the Alpha Scorpion into the water. And then the Flame Mech can... I guess the Flame Mech can handle this with the tank. And the Meteor Mech can... Yeah, we're good. We're good. Alright, one problem solved. That actually prevents me from solving this problem with the acid tank, though, huh? And the only other way the acid tank can contribute is to be in this area and push this guy back one. It does stop all the spawns and everything. But, of course, it also kills the flame tank. Or the acid tank. Maybe I'd be better off doing this. It sets this guy on fire. We still lose 1 grid power, but we do then get to do the acid tank to here thing because it pushes the this mech out of the way. And it gives us some chance at destroying the Hornet leader. Or I could just do it. Oh no, I can't do it this way anymore. The meteor mech does damage now. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to save the reset for later. One building damage. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. We are certainly not going into the final island with full power. Okay. Huh. This is pretty bad. So if we swap this guy over to here, he kills the Alpha Digger for us. That's important. We can use the Flame Mech to kill the Spiderling Egg, freeing the Meteor Mech, which can fire, like, here, and push this guy up. And that actually solves all the problems. The Acid Tank doesn't really have a play in that. Actually, sorry, the Meteor Mech just kills the Alpha Hornet, because it does damage now. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, so we have to stand here and aim this so that it pushes the egg. And then we just splatter you. And I could block a spawn with the acid tank, I guess. Like, move to here, shoot this guy into that for 1 damage, and then just die. I could also acid the swap mech, because the acid won't double the damage from the spawn. I kind of think that's what I want to do. I would hate to lose Lily, but I also don't think there's much danger of that. Because she can, if she's in a position that she actually can't get out of on this last turn, she just... I thought he was on fire too. He was in the only space that wasn't on fire? You're kidding me. It was forests on both sides of him. Well, I guess we weren't getting a perfect island anyway, so it's only 1 star. That's comically horrible. That is by a large margin the worst thing that has ever happened to anyone. Alright, I think no, I can't ice here because Lily will die. The ice will get broken by this guy. What I can do is go here and just repair. And then this guy can push the digger onto here. Unfortunately, the digger will not block the spawn. He only has 1 health. The better play is probably to do this swap. And then just kill him with bounce damage. Let me kill you. Hold on. I can actually kill you with the flamethrower. I probably should. We can stack up some good damage on this guy, or... Probably it's better to just put 2 on him, right? So that he dies when he blocks the spawn. And then the little spiders are all we have to deal with. Yeah, I swear to you, I thought that guy was on fire. Well, like I said, if we end up losing this run, it's certainly not a run where nothing got accomplished, right? We got 2 global achievements and 2 of the squad achievements. Let's get rid of you. Okay, problem solved. We're good. Is there a way that I kill this guy and also still save everybody? I think no. I'm gonna do this just for spite. So we get to kill you, and that's it. I can do some damage to this guy, but nothing huge. Yeah, I should have done the dam mission, but I should have waited on it until I had the damage on the shot here. So that was a pretty big mistake that may have cost us the whole run potentially. We'll see. Okay, we have a number of things to trade. We're not keeping Kazakhpleth. We're not keeping this. We're not keeping that. So we have 10 to work with. We could take 2 cores and 4 grid power. How many cores do I need to, like, have my good stuff online? Two cores would let me get 1 bonus to the size of the ice generator and 1, like, health bonus. Honestly, that's alright. I do not think that we are going to win. But we're certainly going to try. The first thing we do is gain plus size here. And then... do I want to get health for the tank or health for the flame mech? I think I want to get health for the flame mech. It would be nice to have the tank be able to block spawns, though. The thing is, 3 health means that you can't ever take damage from anything, because pretty much every enemy by this point in the game is dealing 3. So going from 3 to 5 is actually, like, pretty important. It's a big difference. Alright, I'm definitely installing it on you. I'm gonna give the health to him. Alright, let's go for it. Because I can't wait till tomorrow. I can't stand the suspense. So we have a charger, we have a guy who shoots in 2 directions, and we have no information on where the things will be. So I guess let's just lay them down somehow, and we'll see what's going to happen. Are these green spaces the spaces that the power is going to fall into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... No, they're not. What are those? Why are there some spaces that are green? Okay, that's easy enough to deal with. Remember, this guy is massive, so swapping him into the lava space is not an instant kill. I might just go here and freeze. Because that'll catch both of these guys, both of these pylons. The swap mech gets unfrozen immediately. That's pretty good, I think. So what else do I want to do before I hit that button? Let's see. We could... I'm going to use the acid tank probably to push this guy down. And then... I guess I'm just going to shoot you with the meteor mech to do 2 damage. Yeah, so like I'll stand here so that I also get frozen, and then the spawn block unfreezes me. You just fire right here. That guy's dead. Oh wait, don't do that yet. We gotta shoot this tank out. Okay, I think this is a pretty good freeze. So we only get 1 new spawn. This guy's dead before he gets another attack off. Yeah, this is a good start. Get a strong space here. Okay, he's going to try to free his leader. That's not a big deal. It does 3 damage. So we could swap this guy over to here, which will cause him to kill himself into the lava. Then we could you have 4 move. I could stand here and push this guy up, so he'll get exploded by that thing and then block lethally. That's pretty good. Right, and then you guys, like, you just come here and don't do anything? And you just kind of, like, yeah, get central, but not in a spot where you're going to get blown up by fire. Yeah, so this gets unfrozen, but that's all that happens, and we block all the spawns again. I like this. This is good. We should start fires. I will start a fire here. It's good for stuff to be on fire. Oh, he's not going to block the spawn because I set him on fire. Oops. Well, it's not the end of the world. This thing being dead is the most important part. Okay, well, that's certainly something we can deal with. So... we sacrifice the acid tank to push him to here. Just have him block the spawn. It doesn't matter that he unfreezes this. And then we block 3 more spawns. Because this is the last turn for spawns, so... yeah. So we only have to deal with 2 enemies on the final turn. This dude, who has acid on him, and also 1 damage after he blocks. And whatever comes out of here, which is also on fire. I was kind of hoping he would just stand there and die. Alright, problem solved. And you get to charge into the lava? Okay, we get to go to the bottom with with 5 power left. Yeah, we might still pull this off, actually. I don't want to get too cocky, but... Powered up ice generator might be enough to save us. The ice generator is really, like, probably too powerful. It's awfully good. I guess it does require two cores to run it, and then a third core to make it really good. But boy, once you put that third core in, it is really good. All right, Jessica, hurry up and deliver that bomb. It didn't even kill a bug that time. Can you believe this? Alright, that's a shame. He didn't stop in line with a rock. Okay, this is pretty bad. The good news is that a freeze right now would actually freeze almost every enemy out here. I mean, maybe that's what I do. Just freeze everybody. Now remember, we want to end as many of us on spawners as possible. Unfortunately, it looks like it's 1. Because the tentacle things are going to come up wherever our units are. Which actually means the freeze is a really bad idea. Because then a tentacle spaces underneath Lily and we probably can't get her out. If we freeze her, it has to be in a spot where she unfreezes immediately. Alright, well we're actually only under threat in two places. And we can deal with one of them by like moving here, deploying the acid tank, and having it push this guy that way. Then the swap mech can move over onto here. No, I don't think we're gonna be able to block 2 spawns that way. The swap mech has to move this guy, I think. And I don't think we have a way out other than that. Fortunately, it's pretty easy from there. Yes, like as soon as we have swapped this guy, we're actually good. So if I just swap the positions they're in now, the Alpha Beetle charges up, pushes him away. I guess it pushes him away into a spot where he's going to hit the Renfield bomb, but I could move the Renfield bomb with the artillery guy. Right, like move to here and just drop a shot there. Do a little bit of extra damage too. So number 2 pushes number 4 up. And number 3 just misses, unfortunately. But on the whole, it's not bad. We blocked most of the spawns. This guy ends up on fire, which is cool. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, never mind. He ends up dead. That's actually even better, because the diggers are very annoying. Okay, so 1 spawn, a tentacle space is going to appear under this spawner, which is really good for us. That guy has 2 health and can be killed by the fact that our meteor mech now actually does damage. Unless he's a coward and he doesn't come into a space I can shoot at. Well, it's easy enough to stop these guys. And we can just use the swap mech to... Nope, can't do that. I was about to say to swap this guy, but then the swap mech ends up on the tentacle space and dies. Well, we can move the swap mech to here, move the meteor mech to here, then swap them. Meteor mech still gets this kill. All we have to do is get out of the way on these. Like, you get to go over there and block that spawn. You get to help him kill those rocks. Those dangerous, dangerous rocks. Nope, and now I've made it impossible for me to kill this thing. And if I don't kill it, it's going to kill our acid tank. So it's actually pretty important that I do a good job of this. See, I saw the solution was like 2 pieces in my head, but I was not really paying attention to the fact that those 2 pieces have to exist on the same map. So this thing has to happen this way. Because screw that guy. And then this is actually better than the thing I was doing anyway, because it ends up with this guy dead. Okay, we managed to once again only take 1 spawn. Okay, now it becomes feasible for us to, or feasible, it becomes viable for us to use the freeze. Okay, this guy's a total non-issue. That's a problem. So once again, I can just use the tank to clear this guy out. This is something that we're going to have to deal with some other way, because I can't just push him up. That's not actually better. I suppose it's worth noting that we could just let him hit the Renfield bomb. It's not like the end of the world. That might be what I do. I'm just thinking that while we can save the Renfield bomb, I could also use this guy to kill the beetle leader by standing here and swapping him over, and maybe that's worth doing. Then again, we're victory in 2 turns, and we know the bomb does work while it's frozen. So maybe I just do this. Right? Let's move the acid tank first, but I think that might be the play. So if I move this guy over 1 space, he'll charge to here and block that spawn. And then I just block 2 spawns myself? Oh. That spawn's blocked. Not really anything for you to do, huh? Yeah, okay, that's fine. You should repair yourself. And you execute a really, really great freeze. Like, look how good that freeze is. Oh, this is going to get falling rocked, actually. So this guy's not going to block that spawn. He's just going to end up in the lava. I was not parsing the yellow rectangle underneath the... Oh, he's not going to end up in the lava because it gets covered by the rocks. Well, hey, look at that. Boy, if we hadn't already gotten the 12 spaces on fire achievement, it would be really easy to get it here. And there's actually no way we can lose, right? None of this stuff matters at all. I'm going to swap this guy onto the tentacles, because screw him, that's why. And then we're good. We win. We did it. Yeah, not bad. And check it out. This would work even if the Renfield bomb didn't work while frozen, because we unfroze it. Well, I had some real negative feelings going into that final mission. But the final mission is easier than the 4th island. I think at this point I probably should have known that. Oh, don't worry, Lily. You're almost certainly coming with us to the next timeline. In fact, no, definitely, certainly. I don't know how often we really got use out of her extra move over the course of this game. You know, due to the fact that she was webbed about half the time on the first turn. But it had to have been valuable sometime. This is not a good score. I did a bad. That's really the whole idea. But we killed it on achievements. So yeah, Lily is strictly better than the... Not strictly better, but definitely actually better. So we did not get this. This is a thing that we're going to have to come back and get in a future run. But on the whole, I'm really pleased with the achievement progress we made there. So we're only 12 coins off of being able to buy the secret squad, which I'm very curious about. We have a couple of squads to go back and do a little achievement cleanup on, and when we do this, we won't play full games with them. We'll just play until we get the relevant achievements. So those will be interesting little achievement hunting runs. But I think what we're going to do next is random squad. We'll do customized squads after. Actually, hold on. Open 5 time pods in a single game. Beat the game at any length without spending reputation, and raise grid defense to 30 or more. Okay, so this is what I was thinking was, hey, maybe the achievements will make it so that it's definitely multiple runs, and hey, they do. We're gonna have to do 2 rounds with these guys because 5 pods means 4 islands almost certainly, maybe 3, but almost certainly 4. But beat the game without spending reputation is something you probably only want to try to do at 2 islands. So these are 2 runs. We can probably do loot boxes and change the odds together, but this is 2 random runs. Is it the same way with the customs? Beat the game with 3 of the same mech, beat the game with 3 different mechs. Okay, there it is. That's 2 different ones. And beat the game with 3 flying mechs. Okay, so we'll have to do 2 different customs as well. So leave your votes in the comments below. Squads you would like to see us do in custom. Please make them... I guess, yeah, 3 different mechs from the same class, 3 of the same mech, and 3 flying mechs. Actually, does that have to be 3 different runs? I don't know. Leave squads in the comments below. Please make them squads that fit these requirements if you can. If you know off the top of your head what all of the different mech classes and everything are. But I'll keep track of those. But when you come back next time, tomorrow, we're going to head out with a random squad. I don't know. It might be totally miserable. But I guess we'll see. And we'll see you then.